Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of Legends from the Past. I am your host, Roger. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. Everything is on the up and up. My legs tired, man. That workout today, boy, that thing was something else. I thought I was gonna have to call my grandson help me back.
Oh, is that right?
Man, I saw this item I'm gonna buy for you, man. You know, just gotta get used to it, man. My legs ain't felt like this since basic training. That's 2,000 years ago.
Look, yeah, I know, man. Look, you know you're getting old, man. You can't do the things you used to do, man.
Well, you know, I ain't trying to dunk a basketball or nothing like that. But you know, even though we are up in age, that's no reason not to keep yourself in shape. You know, a lot of people, well, I'm older now. Yeah, you are. And you're more susceptible to injuries and, you know, catching diseases, colds, COVID, whatever. And you have to work out, which improves your immune system. So,
absolutely.
But
absolutely. Yeah. Man, let me tell you something, Ryan. You know, I was talking to Coach Hunt today, right? And never in the history of Annapolis High have they had the schools that showed up yesterday, man. Ohio State just won a national title, showed up. Clemson showed up. Georgia Bulldogs showed up. Temple showed up, man. They on the roll, man. You know, yesterday was National Signing Day, man, for these students. Of course, Tyler is going to Villanova, but he said, you know, our show, man, and what we've been doing, interviewing the kids and the coaches help elevate them. Not saying that our show alone did it, because Coach Hunt put some time and work in it. But we on the road, Raj. You know, we on the road, man. We are doing exactly what we said we wanted to do. We meeting our mission statement. You know,
is that DJ Hunt you talking about?
Yeah, DJ. No, DJ. No.
What Coach
DJ.
Hunt you talking about? What's his first name?
Annapolis High coach.
What's his first name?
Ah, man, I can't think of his first name.
White or black dude?
You put me on the spot now, man. You need to stop.
No, because he might be related to me. Because you know my mom.
He is related, man. Related to you. He's the head coach. He's black.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over there and talk to him. Next time you go, let me know. We go together.
Okay.
Oh, you talk to him on the phone?
On the phone, yeah. But anyway, man, let's get started, man. We got a hot one tonight, man. Her story is amazing. You know, she's from Annapolis, Maryland. She went to Annapolis High. She currently resides in New York. You know, we're gonna bring her to the stage, right? You ready for her?
Everyone got it, brother.
My man, coming to the stage is Sylvia Ennis.
Hello.
Sylvia.
Hey.
Yes.
How you doing?
Welcome to the show, Sylvia. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome.
Blessed to be here.
Yes, I understand. Thanks. We are so honored to have you on the show tonight, and we're gonna travel back down memory lane. Okay.
Okay.
Tell everyone where you were born and raised.
I was born in a small town in Maryland, Annapolis. I grew up in a neighborhood called Parole. Grew up in a family of 5 of us. I'm the youngest of 5. That's why I need all the attention. I attended, you know, Parole Elementary School, Annapolis Middle School, and then I went to Annapolis, but I actually graduated from Southern High School.
Stop.
Trader.
Right.
Stop. I didn't know she was a trader.
See,
I'm getting ready to get off the show. I'm
going to put house rules on her already, man. Stop it.
A lot of people don't know that, but I celebrate with Annapolis because I only went to Southern for maybe a half semester or something.
She snuck one in on us.
What are some of the things you've done while growing up?
While growing up, in school and everything, I was into drama club. So I'm, into the chorus, singing and stuff like that. I enjoyed anything to do with drama. And just growing up in Parole, I mean, we had fun outside, as I'm open about, being happy outside the house, because my house inside was very volatile and it was just not a real happy place to be. So, I mean, I enjoyed being outside hanging out in Parole, sneaking over to Annapolis Garden and 20 and all the places.
AT for life. That's what I'm talking about.
You know, hanging out in the streets and everything. I had fun.
Yeah. What do you do after your Annapolis High years? Did you go to college?
Well, actually, I was pregnant in 12th grade, so I went to Annapolis. I went to Southern, went to live with my grandmother in my 12th grade year, and I got pregnant in the 12th grade. So I went to school maybe a year after when my son was 1. So I went to Arundel Community College for a couple of years. I didn't graduate from school.
Alumni. That's doing better now. Alumni. I got 2 degrees from the AACC.
Yeah, great school. I was the president of the Black Student Union there, and we used to plan parties and things like that. Was very active there at the school. Then after that, I worked for the state of Maryland. I worked at the Arundel County Health Department off of River Road. So I worked there most of my career with the state of Maryland. And then in 1993, that's when I relocated to Georgia. You want me to keep going after I get to Georgia, or is Almond frozen?
Can you hear me?
He froze.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I'm frozen now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now your journey is that of an amazing story.
Right.
Okay. When you left Annapolis and went to Georgia, what was the things that you had done while in Georgia? After you ask this, I'm gonna give it over to Roger. Okay.
Okay. When I came to Georgia, I had already sent my resume here to a lot of different agencies, but I knew I wanted to work for Emory University. So I got here. I remember it was July the 20th, 1993. And Emory called me. It was a Saturday, and I got the phone call from Emory University that Monday. And then I started working at Emory. I started off as a medical secretary at the bottom, but by the time that I finished my career, I was a senior clinical business manager. And for the majority of the time at Emory, I did grant administration. And then I just had changed my career right before I had my accident in 2010. I changed my career into clinical business manager, which is just overseeing, the budgets for the clinics and things like that. So, I mean, that was finally got into a job that I really enjoyed, and then the accident happened.
Okay, and that was what, on a Wednesday, January 2nd, 2013, correct?
Correct.
Okay, Roger, go ahead.
Thank you very much, kind sir. See how he order people around. He forget I'm older than him.
That's what the military does.
Yeah, but he forget I'm older than him. And I was in the military longer than him too.
Okay.
But you say you work at Emory. Do you know Angela Huff?
No, Emory has 20,000 employees, so no, I don't.
I know how big it is. It's like 3 buildings, right?
It's more than that. It's a large campus. I mean, because Emory they have several different departments. They have the clinic and they have the university, which is kind of separate from each other. So.
But don't y'all got like a little train or something to take you back and forth if you want to go from one side to another? Transport.
Well,
like that?
It wasn't there when I had my accident. It may be there now, but I don't know. I know they were talking about doing it, but I'm not sure if they did. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, because somebody I served with, her and her husband worked down there.
Okay.
They got out the army and they work over there somewhere. I don't know where they work.
Okay.
So you got the job at Emory and you left us twice because you left Annapolis and went to Southern, and then you left Annapolis period and went to Georgia. But we're gonna let all that slide. You my fraternity, my alumni sister from AAC. Well, Armin went to AACC too. He played football up there. But since you did that part, we're gonna let all that bulldog, all that slide, But I got a lot of family members that went to Southern because my dad's from Galesville.
Okay.
So I had a lot of family members down there. But yeah, so that's great. So when you got down to Georgia, when you first got there, what did you think of it?
I loved it. It was just place where everybody back then in the 90s, it was very prosperous. The job market was great. Came down here, you do have Southern hospitality, made a lot of friends. Party, when I first got here, I partied literally every day.
Yeah, because they had the what's that called? The I don't think they do it anymore. A lot of people used to go to it.
They had a lot of
Freaknik. Freaknik.
Oh yeah. Well, I got tricked for Freaknik. My niece, I didn't know anything about. She tricked me and asked me to take her downtown in Atlanta. And I was like, I can't get you there because we were all in this traffic. And I was like, I was apologizing. I said, I'm so sorry, I can't get you downtown. There's so much traffic. I had no idea I was in Freaknik. And she was laughing behind my back because my car, we were sitting in the Freaknik when I first came here. She only got me that one time, though. Only that one time. I learned my lesson on that one.
You know, I went, and don't tell nobody, but I went to Freaknik because, I was stationed down. Let me tell you something. In the 80s, it was just a good time. And, later on it became a bad thing, but it was just a good time. I remember walking down the street. This guy was over there grilling. I had money. And then I was like, hey, man, how much for a hamburger? He's like, man, come on up here and get one, a couple of hamburgers, and some French fries, some hot dogs. And like you say, that Southern hospitality. Dude gave us sodas, and we sitting over there like we knew that dude our whole life.
Right, that's how they are.
Oh, my God, back then. But I've heard later on, it became a bad thing, and it's confusion, fighting, drugs, and all that other stuff. But in the beginning, because it was like 5 college students that came up with that.
Right, I remember.
Yeah. See, I read a little bit, not a whole lot, but So I'm gonna turn you on over back to
Okay.
So, Cheryl Chu, she wanted to say hi to you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, sure. That's my cousin. That's my first cousin.
That's your first cousin?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I know this is very emotional for you. So let's go back to January 2nd, 2013. Okay. What kind of how was that day when it started?
The day started off great. I mean, I went to the gym. I was really into being active back then. I was going to the gym like every day back then. I woke up, and then, Christmas was right before that. So I just went shopping and had new clothes. So had on my new suit. I can tell you, I can remember what I had on. I had on a gray suit, the blue, like a dark royal blue top. And that's right. It was looking good. I had my little $29.99 leather boots on. I mean, I was ready. I mean, listen to the radio and everything. And next thing I know, from nowhere, I didn't know what it was. The tree just fell on my car, and I didn't know what it was at first. And I just knew I was going to die at that point.
Yeah. So was there a storm that took place?
It was a clear day. It was not a storm. The tree was a healthy tree. It just fell. It was just an act of God that it fell like that, because it was a healthy tree. I mean, the ground, it gets moist down there in Georgia as it rains and things like that. And some of the older trees, a lot of trees fall all the time here in Georgia. But that one was a healthy tree, and it just fell on my car. And the branch was probably about 5 feet tall. It impaled my abdomen. And we did not know that it had gone all the way through my abdomen and exited out on the right side of my buttocks. So it went all the way through. Yeah.
So this is your night, so you can tell your story, okay? If you're comfortable with it. Now, how long did it take before someone noticed what had happened and reacted to that situation?
Well, there were cars behind me. I was right there, maybe 5 minutes away from Emory University going to work, and there were cars behind me. The timing, I don't know. When I was in the car by myself when it happened, I tried to pull the branch out of my abdomen, but it was too heavy. So I didn't realize it had gone in to pierce me. And then so I tried to call 911, but my phone fell out of my hand. So then I looked out the window. It was a guy, the one I talk about all the time that I haven't found yet, named Jay. I don't know where he is. He came to the car and asked me, am I okay? And he asked me, could he call someone? And the only phone number that I knew by heart was my sister, Janet. And so I made the phone call to he made the phone call to tell her that I was in the accident. If he didn't, then I would have been a Jane Doe at the hospital. So he let her know. And once the rescuers got there, he had to move out the way because they had to start rescuing me right away. But they had to wait because the power poles fell down. So they had to wait for the Georgia Power to give them the okay to make sure those wires weren't live. So I don't know what the time frame was before they got to my car. I think the rescue took about 13 minutes. I'm not sure, because they had to cut the branch down to fit me in the ambulance. So they had to cut it down. And then when they started cutting is when the excruciating pain started. I remember screaming as loud as I can. It was excruciating pain for them to cut that branch down.
So now you were in Georgia.
Yes.
Your family was in Maryland, correct?
Well, my brothers were in Maryland. My sister, she's been in Georgia. I've been here over 30 years. She's been over 40 years. So I have family here. My sister, my son, my grandson, and my niece. I have a lot of family here. Cheryl is here in Georgia. So it feels like home having everybody here.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, you being in all that pain and everything, but you survived. And I was thinking about accident I had when I was jumping out the airplane. My shoe collapsed. And I was going to jungle school, and I fell through the trees, and they knocked my kneecap out. But ain't nothing like what you went through, because you handled it. Hell, I peed on myself.
Well, I probably did too. I don't know what happened.
But while they was trying to push my kneecap up and get me all squared away to be medevac, right? It was hot.
Well,
so I was like, look, there's like, well, what's going on in Song Park? I say, it's hot, man. I'm sweating. That wasn't no sweat.
Hey.
It's all good though. But yeah, so what after you got through that, right? Talk to us a little bit about the therapy and the recovery time.
Okay. Well, we got to get from the scene to the hospital.
Well, like Armin said, it's your thing. Go for it.
Yeah. So from the went in the ambulance to Grady, which is the trauma center here in Atlanta. And I was still conscious when I got there. And then with knowing I met the nurse a couple of years later, and she said I was saying I'm in pain. So that's when they administered pain medication, and they probably did that in the ambulance too, but I don't remember. So the surgeon thought that it was a joke when he got the call saying someone's here and the tree, impaled her abdomen. He thought it was a joke. That somebody would say that to someone's alive with a tree in their abdomen. So he didn't believe that was really true. So they had to start immediately. I guess they put me into a medically induced coma, and they did some aggressive resuscitation because I lost so much blood. I lost almost all my blood when I was in the emergency room. So they literally, I know my surgeon said he's a trauma surgeon, but he's also a tree surgeon, because they had to remove that tree from my abdomen. So that was the first time they ever had done that. So after they removed the tree, then immediately I had 10 surgeries from the beginning, like right away, because they had from the tree, you get splinters, you got a lot of wood. So they had to go in and do surgeries to clean me out, to get the splinters out of my system and things like that. So I was still, in a coma when that was happening. And then, so I was at Grady, and I think I was in the coma over 20 days, almost a month. I was in the coma. And then, like I said before, people want to know if you hear them talking. I did see people. I didn't know really, but I know my mother, she would rub my head. I remember my niece said, everybody rubbed my forehead, but I remember my mother always there and rubbing my head and talking to me. I could see her. And I could see the nurse that was in there in the trauma. He was just dancing. He was saying, banana, banana, banana. And he was dancing around because I got pneumonia when I was there, and they was doing the bed to shake so get the mucus loose in your chest. So the nurse was dancing around. But I remember one nurse, after I got out of the coma, she told me, she said that they called everybody in, and she said, why are you calling us in there? Because that lady's going to die anyway. So I'm so glad that everybody else didn't think like that, that I encountered people who believed in God and were led by God to save me. So it was a journey there. And you want me to continue? Well, I woke up from the coma. The first thing I remember is my son standing over me, and I believe he had on a black shirt and some checkered colored shorts. It's the first person I remember as I was waking up. And then I heard that I was kind of delirious. And, when you have so much pain medicine things, your you're gonna be out of your mind. And the funny thing, they laughed about that the trauma doctor who did surgery, I guess I might have looked and seen what he was doing, and I want them to call the police on him because I said that's the man who did this to me. so I was completely out of my mind when I woke up, and just being there, I just oh God, it was not.
Take your time. Take your time.
I mean, you run into different people.
Yeah.
And some of them aren't nice in there. So I had a miserable time there with some of the nurses and things, because you calling for your pain meds and they never come. So I had to keep calling my sister at home. When I was still in intensive care, I had to call her to say the nurses didn't bring my pain medicine, because the nurse goes on break. You don't get nothing because that nurse is on break. Then my sister had to come from her house sometimes in the middle of the night and say, give her pain medicine. But then I had other people who were really, really good, and make sure you get a massage and make sure you cleaned up and make sure you get everything you need. So, but it was a grueling experience there, and I was connected to a lot of tubes. I cannot count how many tubes. I had an ileostomy bag on connected. I had a feeding tube connected. I had all these drainage tubes and things like that. So when they did try to get me to start moving, I would literally cuss them out because I had so many tubes connected, and I had a catheter. So it was just really tough in that hospital. And then spent several months in the hospital, and I moved to the rehab. And,
and I just want to say this real quick, Roger, and I'll get back to you, man. The one thing, the positive comments that we receive about this show is that we allow you to talk. This is all about you.
Right.
If you feel like there's a point where you may feel a little emotional, it's okay. Right. All right, it's okay. But you share all that you want to share and need to share. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, well, I agree with I'm on, Arm and now on point. We've been friends since the 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But if you get to a point where you don't want to talk about it, you can just move on past that, because it's a mirror. Well, I know what you look like. I'm looking right at you. I know you're fine. Okay, so so I'm looking right at you. I ain't
where you getting from?
I know what you look like. But if you get to a point that you don't want to talk about, hey, like Armin said, this is all you, and that's what we make this show about. It's all whoever we're supposedly interviewing, but actually they run the interview. We just giving you an opportunity to put your story out there so you can get your book done and your movie. For the movie, I don't want no money, but I do want some free tickets. Only need one for me.
Okay. Yeah. So the next step was rehab, which when I went back to visit them, they say when I do stories or interviews, I never talk about rehab because I didn't have a good experience in rehab.
Wow. So now, okay, your rehab, this is something that really, I hate to bring up, but it's the Africans that give us a hard time. Were they? Who was treating you in rehab that gave you a bad feeling?
Everybody. They don't care. Everybody. Most of them don't care.
Yeah.
And man, I can just. If it wasn't for family and everybody, I would be landing there. I wouldn't be living if I stayed in rehab. I was there and they just left me laying there with all the tubes, and they weren't trying to help me progress or try to get me walking and things like that. Because I still had, on medical leave at Emory, so I had what they call great insurance. I had 2 doctors I had to end up firing, and they just weren't paying attention and trying to get me moving. I would not be living if I didn't fire those 2 doctors. They didn't give a damn what was happening to me in rehab. They would rather for me to lay there and literally die. I had a surgery that was scheduled, and I was at another rehab before then, and they used to take me transportation to my doctor's appointments. So I had a surgery plan that was going to do the skin graft. I'm sorry. And
take time.
They did not take me to my surgery. And he said, "You're here now." It's almost like like a kidnapping. They would not allow me to go to my outside doctor's appointment. So I missed a very important surgery where they were going to put the skin graft on me because they did not arrange for transportation. That's why I don't like that rehab. I don't care, what they think. But I mean, I went through hell in that rehab, and I would not be here if I stayed there. I'll get to that soon. But they didn't get me over to surgery. So luckily the doctors had credentials in the hospitals connected to the rehab. So they had to change their schedule and literally come and get me out of my rehab room to take me to do the skin graft. I had nothing on my stomach because the tree took away a lot of my skin and everything like that. So they had to put pig skin temporary on my stomach, and the rehab would not get me to that surgery for me to get that done. So eventually I had to fire the doctors in rehab. This is the first time anybody heard about the rehab story.
So Sylvia,
yes.
Now, these are professionals.
Yes.
You had a 110-foot pine tree that was approximately 5 feet tall. The
branch, yeah.
Yes. And these cats were giving you a hard time.
Yeah, didn't take me to my outside appointments important appointments that I needed to get better. So
I've heard other stories about Emory and Grady.
It wasn't Emory. The rehab wasn't Emory or Grady. This was another location. It wasn't Emory or Grady.
Yeah,
they weren't connected.
I heard stories about those two hospitals from people that worked there.
Right.
So
Emory and Grady were great to me. I'm still in contact with all those doctors. They were excellent. Both Grady and Emory, they're the same doctors because doctors round at both places. Yeah. But though Grady and Emory, those doctors still in contact with me to this day to make sure I'm okay. So I love Emory and Grady.
The rehab, like I want to say, was the rehab part of Emory or Grady? There was just another proponency altogether.
They were separate. They were separate from, and they weren't any connection to the hospital. They were separate, even though they were connected to one of the hospital locations. They were not affiliated with the hospital. They were private, separate from them.
Yes, because Georgia is not known for its. Emory is. I don't know about Emory is when all this stuff kicked off with the virus and everything. Emory was out front leading.
Right. Definitely. Emory's excellent. If you got anything serious, that's where you need to go. I mean, if you got anything serious, you definitely need to go to Emory. If you're into trauma, is Grady. You're going to be saved. They're great doctors, all of them.
Now, I think it was Grady, right? Wasn't it Grady that they rushed Jamie Foxx to?
I'm not sure.
I think it was Grady that they rushed Jamie Foxx to when he had that stroke or whatever he had. Because he talked about it in his stand-up. Yeah, it was Grady. He said they saved his life.
Right. No, they're excellent. Yes.
Wow.
So it's on you.
Okay. So after
So the doctor that treated you, the one that couldn't believe it, but he was the one that saved your life. Tell us about your experience with him.
Well, Dr. Omar Danner. Okay. He the first time I saw him, he come in there. I was just waking up from a coma. He explained what he's going to do. I'm like, I don't know what the ham sandwich he's saying. It was like he was just telling me, but he would say that he had to have this emergency surgery. But he would say, I got to go home tonight and speak to God to see if that's what I'm sitting here thinking about. Almost say the word. What do you mean you got to go home, talk to God? I was saying it to myself. And then he would go home. I'm like, this is emergency. How could you just go home? But he would go home and he said, he would pray. And then he let me see, come back the next morning. He said, I prayed to God and God told me to do this. And then that would lead everything that he did. He led through God, through his experience of God. And a lot of them were, they're scientists, but a lot of them believed in God. So, yeah.
Wow. And that just built your confidence and your trust with him. Because you had 25 surgeries, right?
Probably more. That's all I could think about. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
No.
I tell you.
Yeah, but he's been calling since the accident just to make sure I'm okay, and still helping me right now because I need surgery, but it's too dangerous to have it. So I've just changed to doing like a more natural eating and things like that, trying to be doing natural health instead of using medicine and things like that to fix things. So I just started that journey. So because the surgery, what I need is I have a leak. I don't know what this means in the cavity by my colon. My colon hasn't healed from the accident. So if they do the surgery, it's too dangerous, and I would end up having a stoma bag for the rest of my life. And the surgery is dangerous because it's just not an easy surgery, so I'm not going to have it done.
I'm telling you, them bags ain't no joke, because I had one when I had prostate surgery, and I only had it for 10 days. It almost killed me. You know, it wasn't pain. It was just so awkward. And then I had I was having the bladder, because my bladder kept trying to push out like I had fluid, but it was no fluid there because it was leaking 24/7. So I was having those bladder spasms, and so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
And this stuff ain't no joke.
Right.
You know, so I see where you're going with that, and I understand that completely. But how is the herpetologist stuff working for you?
The what?
You say you're going to a more natural thing.
Oh yeah. It's working great. I'm just doing it's called 3-2-1, and you do like 3 snacks, 2 protein drinks, and then a small meal in the evening. And that's the way I gotta kind of not disrupt my colon to give it time to heal on its own, so I don't have to have surgery. So I just been doing that for about 2 weeks. It's going very well. Feel much better.
That's good.
Feel much better. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you off. I hadn't started. But I'm doing. I feel much better. Everything is going well. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know in a year if my colon has healed on its own. It's going to take.
We still be here.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, you and Paris be speaking some kind of codes. I don't know, but what is? Can you see that?
I see
ASIL. What is ASIL?
Look, if I tell you, I had to unalive you.
See that? Now, when you do the unaliving, remember Roger didn't ask. Keep that part straight right there. It's the bright skin guy, not the dark skin guy. It's the bright skin guy. Yeah.
That's our secret code. I have several secret codes with different people too.
Okay.
Well, you on the Legend Show, so we don't keep secrets on the Legend Show. No, you got to be transparent.
You see the initials, you figure it out. Yeah, I'm gonna ask her. Does she want me to tell her what it means?
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You know, that's the difference between dark skin and light skinned people. Dark skinned people know not to get involved in
where you find him from? Where you find him?
Well, hey, that's we've been friends since 3rd grade. You know,
Lord.
Now, I don't appreciate this right here, but I don't appreciate that.
Go ahead, Paris. That's right, Paris.
And we sure don't plead the 5th on this show, all right?
Yes, we do.
You know that? So she ain't say that. She ain't say that. Dark skin guy, they already know. He know the code. They know the dark skin brother know the code. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Hey, well. She got me. Well, I tell you
that
what.
Was funny.
Well, I'm gonna show you right here. Okay? And you do.
Funny.
You do.
Oh, okay.
You look great.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I must be Anaya.
We already established Grandma was fine about 30 minutes ago. Where you been at, sweetheart?
Hey, you know how it go. You gotta be fine. I mean, just what it is, you know.
There you go. There it is.
Just like wine. The
older
right. You
get. That's right.
Yeah. Look, you know what, Roger? I'm not going to mention this on the show, right? But she made a comment a while back that she was an undercover.
I sure did. And if you tell them what I said, I'm going to have to unalive you.
Yeah, see that once again. I don't want to know.
No, you don't want to know.
I don't, because you know these mugs pop up. You
just
too
put it
nosy,
this way.
I plead the fifth. Huh?
Put it this way: fun owes me nothing. I've had fun in my life, and it owes me nothing.
Absolutely.
Well, you already know I had fun. I'm like this every day.
Lord. Y'all, look, I'm supposed to be telling my story now. Y'all got me. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, we had to loosen you up a little bit, just a little bit. All right?
I think I'm pretty loose, pun intended.
Who was that guy?
Hey, so now, Sylvia.
Yeah.
You know, now you've been through X number of surgeries. You know, you had one that you told me about that you can't have. You just got through sharing it with the show. How do you get around today? What are some of the things that you are able to do now? I saw someplace where you had talked about going to a beach or something, right?
Which time was that? I'm trying to.
Which time? See, look, which time?
Oh, which time? That sound like
I just came from the beach. I was at the beach a couple of weeks ago. I was at Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
So I still use when I'm out on the outside terrain, I do use a walker, and you know I have the cane. I'm still off balance. I might have permanent nerve damage in my right leg, and sometimes that leg goes completely out where I can't do anything. Well, I'm working on that too with the natural things that I'm doing. I'm working on trying to build the nerves back up and everything like that. The doctor's been trying to get me to work on my health for the last 12 years, but I literally cussed him out and told him to leave. I told him I'm too sick to talk, and I didn't realize he was trying to help me not be sick. Right. And then when I finally called one day, I said, you know, it was Dr. Dan. I said, Dr. Dan, I'm really sick. What can I do? He said, I can't do anything. I don't know what's wrong with you. So I did some testing to find out what's wrong. It is helping with the excruciating pain that I have. That's going down a little bit. And then where the tree came through, that pain in that area never, ever goes away. But it's actually getting better right now. So hopefully in a year, when I come back to, you know, Annapolis, I'm coming to Annapolis in June, actually. Coming next month, I'll be there. But when I come there, maybe I won't be having a walker or a cane, maybe. Hopefully, maybe another miracle will happen.
That's right. But you know what? After I finish hanging out with a couple of my friends, Jack and Daniel, sometimes I need to use a cane.
Oh, Lord.
I do. Especially if they bring their cousin Coke along.
Out there, to my audience out there on the YouTube fan, I don't know him, you know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You just heard her say she was coming to Annapolis in June. All right, now.
I don't remember you.
Now, Sylvia. So the doctor that saved your life.
Yes.
You cursed him out. The doctor that saved your life.
Yeah. He kept calling me, telling me what I need to do. I don't want to hear it. You know, you don't want to hear nobody tell you what to do.
If it's saving my life, I do.
You say what?
If it's saving my life, I do. Tell me what you
know,
need to tell me.
I was too sick to listen. I was too much pain. I was just, and your mind just goes and everything. I just didn't want to hear it. And then finally, when I realized like I'm in the bed, I can't get up. My house is just a mess. Then I realized like I got to do something. So that's when being all serious, when I called and I was like, I got to do something, because I would I'd be in the bed forever and doing nothing and, you know, crying and being in pain and everything. So I made the call and I apologize for cussing him out, and everything's cool.
Yeah, because he don't want to get cussed out no more.
So now, do you have to have a caretaker with you?
No, I'm independent. I have help, friends that help me all the time and everything. And trust me, they know if I call them, they know I really need them. But most of the time, I wish I did have someone to help on this, because it's really difficult. And that's something that I'm looking at down the road, to get help, just to help with small things like, you know, clean up the house and help sometimes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty much independent. So.
That's great.
Your story is so detailed. I really thank God for Roger. Because we are able to add laughter on top of a serious situation.
She just said she don't know me, and now she said, "You know me now, though." I bet you if I come down there with my cane and my 3 boys, Coke, Jack, and Daniel, we'd be good friends.
Like I said to my YouTube audience.
Not for you, though. Hey, on the comment side, there's a lot of people. Who's Pammy Pam Pam? Praying for God's and continue hearing.
Thank you.
And Reverend Nolan Henson, blessings.
Yeah, he was on the show. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And Laura Berry, hey my BFF, you look amazing.
Hey Laura.
Yep, and Rodell Wright saying his love.
Hey Rodell.
Yeah. How you know Rodell don't know me? He came to school with me. We graduated.
You. Yes. Never mind. I don't remember anybody. I stayed to myself. Okay.
Well, tell us about your family involvement. Your brothers, your mother, your father. And if I'm going too far, please stop me. I don't want to go too far.
No, it was 5 of us. I think I remember my father used to take the little leagues and stuff, footballs in his truck. He used to ride home with him. But family is I can't really, just a lot of ups and downs and stuff in the family where just like any other family has issues going on. But just growing, my father, he was alcoholic, so it was just not, he act like one, and it was not pleasant to be around that type of person. But we did make, when I had my accident, because I wasn't speaking to my father at all, and also I always cuss everybody out. So he was one of those people. But after I had the accident, he asked could he come to visit. He was going to stay at a hotel. I offered him to stay at my house, and he came like maybe 3 times. Him and Miss Yvonne, his wife, they came down to visit me. So we made up before he passed away. So that relationship was really great. So I'm glad to have peace on that. My mother, wonderful lady and everything. Jalene Ennis went to Asbury all her life, Asbury United Methodist Church in Annapolis. And she was quiet. The only word I can't even say, I'm never hardly cussed or anything. My father did all that enough for her and everybody else. So she was pretty quiet on the outside, but she was what do you call it when you speak softly but you carry a big stick? That's how she was. And she was she tried to be
Roosevelt.
Right. Hey.
So I went to school 2 days. 2 days I went to school. After they told me about Roosevelt, I left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
So one thing that Paris has just said is true. You had to learn how to cope because it was a traumatic experience,
right?
Not just physical, mentally. So let's just talk a little bit about that. How were you able to cope with what you experienced?
I don't. What you all see, which everybody laughs and thinks I'm joking, what you see right now is a facade. Because when I come in front of people, you're gonna see me smiling. You're gonna think everything's okay, and it's not. It's a really rough time. I'm still, even though it's been 12 years, I'm still having the pain. It's very difficult. My life is very difficult, even though I struggle to do things, just normal things. Just even getting in the shower is a task to do that, and it's just been rough. But I'll put the facade smile in front of your face, but probably when I get off here, I'll be crying. I'll have PTSD after the accident, depression. I think the mental struggle that I've had through this time is worse than the physical, because the mental is very, 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 very serious. And I do work on it. Through therapy and things like that. I do self-care by going to plays and try to do activities and bingo, play bingo and things like that, try to keep myself busy. But other than that, when I get off this call in front of everybody, I know I'm not going to be smiling. I mean, it's just fake. And I mean, I know people think I'm real, but I mean, just being honest, it's just fake. You know, sometimes I just try to keep that smile because people draw from the energy and they're like, oh, you're so strong. And I really kind of choose someone out for saying it the other day, saying I'm strong. That's all you hear. You're so strong. You're so strong. And I don't like to hear that because I'm really not strong. I mean, God kept me here. I mean, you have to survive because you're here. And then did I want to live? No, I did not want to live after the accident. And It was times before the accident I didn't want to live that I was probably considered suicidal. No one ever knows that. And when they tell you to check on your strong friends, that's a true statement. Because everybody thinks I'm strong, I'm not. I mean, even a phone call, prayer, or if you ask me, do I need something to eat? I know one of my friends, she'll call, she'll know when I answer the phone how my voice sounds, and she'll know I'm not okay. And then, she'll bring me my dinner or something like that. It's rough. It's really rough.
Yeah.
But you're still here, though.
I'm still here. I'm pressing forward. Mm-hmm. I'm moving. Things are going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, when I know that I have the injuries, but when people ask me to do something, I'll say, I'm going to try it once, see if I can do it. I'll try anything even with my condition. If somebody asks me to go somewhere, like climb a mountain, I may try to do that. I'll do anything once to see if I can do it. But I mean, it's an up and down thing with the mental, and a lot of people don't really understand. They think that after the accident that everything is okay because on the outside, yeah, I do look good, and I know I did. But you sit there, you got your hair done, your nails done, all that stuff. But under that, it's not real for me. And I know people laugh when I say it, but I'm out there to the audience. I'm very serious. I do feel. I'm open about being depressed right now, and the PTSD, especially when you see those trees and things. It's really rough. It's really rough. So I used to be the one where everybody called for their issues, and then it's hard for you to have somebody to call for all your issues and stuff like that because you're the one that's supposed to be strong and hyping everybody else up, and that's been really difficult for me.
Yeah. Sylvia, this really was tough for me. I wanted to do this for you. It meant a lot, but I gotta, this was hard. And I'm getting emotional now just thinking about it. Right. But when are you coming this way?
I'll be there. June. Yeah, June. Teeny Butler, she's retiring, so I'm coming there for that. And the end of June, I'll be there the 20th. I think I'll be there the 26th of June. Only staying for a few days. So
yeah. Okay. Well,
so you from Parole, right? You know Brian Brown, them, don't you? Brian Brown, Pierre.
I know the names. I don't remember anybody.
Okay.
I don't remember people's names. I know people's face, but I don't know names.
Yeah. Well, if you have time, let's try to maybe have lunch or something. If you're up to it, okay.
Okay.
That'd be great. And you were given something. I was hoping you would wear it tonight, but you didn't wear it on the show.
It's hot. Your clothes. The clothes that y'all make in Maryland, they are hot. So I did have it on, but I was sweating because on the serious note, it seems like because it gets colder in the north, so the clothes are thicker. So I was like, I can't sit here with that. But yes, thank you for that hoodie. And it would be warm because we got down to what? It was really a cold winter here in Georgia, so it would definitely it'll get use out of it. Trust me, I'm gonna send that picture.
She done messed around and kicked the state to the curb. She done been down to Georgia now. She been badmouth Maryland, talk about our clothes and
your clothes are too thick.
But Maryland South makes a decent line. We Southern too.
I know.
Delaware was the first free state.
Delaware was the free state. Yeah. A lot of people don't remember that we are in the South in Annapolis.
That's right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Virginia.
Jeff Goins said, never forget God had a plan for you.
Well, thank you. Yes. I'm going to get there. It's been I know everybody asks about the book and they ask about the movie and stuff. Like I was telling you, and that every single time I try to write that book, I break down.
Yeah. You told me that too. You forgot. You told me that too.
Whatever. You're going to hear it again.
Both of us, but see, people always gravitate towards the light skin brother for some reason.
Oh Lord.
So now remember now. All right, there is a ghostwriter if you need one.
Okay.
I actually sent you. I made a connection on your phone.
I got it. I'll check them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And
can't hear you.
We can't hear you, because we couldn't hear you.
I just want to thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
This was really, like I had mentioned earlier, it was really tough. It was tough. There were some things that I just didn't want to touch on because I didn't know how.
You can touch on anything. I'm an open book. So.
Yes, you are. And you're going to write that book. Right?
Yes, I'm going to write it.
Or you are the ghostwriter. Somebody going to write it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Reno in the pocket. Reno in the pocket, Brown, he said, you had a sweet mother, my Cub Scout den mother.
Right. Yes, she was. Yep.
We have a nice. If you're out there on YouTube, subscribe to the show, and because of this, I'm thinking about giving away something, Roger. What you think? Think I should give away something tonight?
Don't give away your car. Just give away one of our items.
One of our items. Okay.
He get too 300 sometimes. Yeah. Give away one of our.
Dave, you put my phone number in the comment box. And if you are the 8th caller,
then you can get a hot sweatshirt like Sylvia.
Get a what? Oh Lord!
You can get
and you can tell.
If you can get a hot sweatshirt like Sylvia.
I'm gonna send that picture, and I want you to post it on your page.
Good. If you can tell me,
we got
and you can tell me where Sylvia is from, you're gonna win a gift tonight.
Georgia.
So
I ain't no help.
No, you ain't no help.
She just said she's from Georgia. Bad mouth Maryland. It's hot up there. It's cold. It's warm down here. We got the sun and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
You really trying to get one.
Yeah, we got the sun and everything. Who that? Who that on?
Hey, I think it's a Cheryl shoe.
Oh.
Cheryl on it. Didn't she get something before?
You know what?
I think she won something before.
Tell me where she was born. Where's she from?
Georgia. Georgia.
Bro.
Who's that?
You know what? You are the winner. Give everybody your name.
Who's that?
Cheryl Queen.
Cheryl Queen. Okay, congratulations.
Ain't that her first cousin? That
no,
ain't right.
Not Cheryl Queen. That's not my no.
Oh no! Wait a minute. The other Cheryl.
You can figure out.
Oh, we know Cheryl Queen. She married to our boy Keith.
All right. Okay.
Didn't Cheryl win something before?
Hey, David, post our website up for sure.
Yeah. Did Cheryl win something before?
Nah.
Man, I thought I saw her with a picture. Okay. I thought I saw her with a picture with a hot sweatshirt on.
Oh Lord.
They post our website.
Sylvia, when I see you up here in June, I'm gonna say, hot sweatshirt, what's up?
Sylvia.
Yes.
What encouraging thing would you want to leave for our viewers tonight?
I want to encourage people to just keep going. Don't give up. I know that I said that I have a lot of those, down days and, the PTSD and depression, but I still push through and make it every day. Just whatever you're striving for, your goals, just keep on going. And, one of these days as long as you focus, you'll make it. Anybody out there that's going through any kind of medical issues and things like that, just keep going, be strong on that. I know when I mean be strong means that just keep going and taking care of yourself and things like that. Things will turn around. Things will turn around eventually. I know I have brighter days coming right now because I mentally starting to feel better right now. So
hold on. Look. Go ahead.
I can't see who that is. Paris, what is she doing calling?
She said that's you have a question.
Okay.
Hey, look, Paris, this is my show. All right. I want people to know.
All right. Them bright skin folk think they privileged.
Hey,
what's
look,
the question?
That she's in the middle of saying something encouraging and you interrupted her. Okay. I'm sorry, Sylvia. All right. See, and that's because y'all speaking cold. That was perfect.
What did she say? You didn't get a chance to answer the question.
Oh.
I thought Cheryl had. I thought she had a question to answer.
No. No. That was Paris said the question that we asked was too. It wasn't a hard question, but Sylvia, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Finish giving us your thoughts.
Just telling people not to give up and keep going. You say what?
No, I just say finish giving us your thoughts.
Okay. No, I'm just telling them to push through anything that they got going. Just keep going and keep trying. I mean, because when I first got out of it, which I didn't tell you, I was in a wheelchair. And I wasn't told that I wasn't going to be able to walk again. And I'm glad they didn't tell me that. Because I know the first time I walked to the doctors, they were surprised that I was walking. So I started in the wheelchair. I was in there for a few months where I couldn't even walk at all. And it took me about 2 years to walk again. And I forgot to tell you that. So just keep moving.
You are definitely an inspiration. And Cheryl Chu, I couldn't have said any better. You are the epitome of strength. Fred Walker said, thank you for sharing your story with us. You are a strong woman, Sylvia. Right. And Rodell said you have touched many of them. That book must be shared. The story of survival, God's blessing, and the will to live shall not go unnoticed. Your message got so many people.
I promise you the book will be coming. It'll be coming.
All right. Hey, look. All right, Roger, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, Sylvia, I'm waiting on that book. I don't put it in my memoirs now.
Okay.
I'm telling you what I wrote down. New book coming out by Hot Sweatshirt.
Oh.
Look, thank you for sharing your story with us on a serious note. It was nice meeting you. You're still my homegirl, even though you kicked the state to the curb, you kicked our high school to the curb, but that's okay. You still family. I look forward to seeing you in June at lunch. Order what you want because I'm paying for it. And it's all good. And thank you again for sharing your story.
Thank you for inviting me.
And that movie is a must. One ticket. You have to give Armin no ticket, just one ticket. Okay. Don't even have to be up front, be in the back, one ticket.
Okay.
Hey, look, Sylvia, we love you. Make sure that you do let us know, and we'll get together and just have a nice dinner, and just relax. Okay. Thank you for coming on. All right. Tune in again next week, same time. And if you like what we're doing, donate to the show. Keep us going. We try to give you the best. We try to give you the best each week. You know, this one today was touching. You know, I admit, you know, I broke down a little bit, but you know, again, come back next week. We got a NFL star play for the Philadelphia Eagles. It will be a guest next week. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You have to show up to see who he is. Sylvia, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sylvia.
You're welcome.
Peace.
All right.
See you in June. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.